Hello guys, and welcome to our new video. In this particular video we'll be considering media and other tasks in which you'll be encountering throughout your career in web development. So the first one I will be looking at today is the abbreviation tag. In the abbreviation tag, you can actually use it to do abbreviation. Let's say, for example, you are working on a site that requires some sort of abbreviation, maybe something like EU, that's the European Union. You have to add a title to it, a title attribute, and that title attribute will now convey the full meaning of that abbreviation. European Union. So the next thing now will be for us to save this work and then go to the browser to see what we have. Always remember to save your work and then refresh. Find out that we have EU. When once I hover around it, you see that the full meaning will come of being European Union. So you can go ahead to create series of abbreviations on your site and then add the title. Then another tag under the media aspect we'll be looking at is the video. How can we actually add a video to our website? Well, the first thing you notice is that I've created a folder here where my project is. I call that folder files. You can call it whatsoever you want. So in this folder, I copied a series of music and videos, or a particular video inside. So you can go ahead and do the same thing before continuing. When once you create a folder within this your project folder, and then copy the videos and pictures you are interested in and put them inside there, then you can now come to the VS Code, and then here in the VS Code I will use the video tag. The video tag. And once you create it this way, the next thing you do, you'll be to specify SRC attribute. And of course we should be familiar with this by now, because SRC and of course stands for the source. So our video is in a folder called files, and then that's the name of our video. Make sure to type the name correctly, else it will not work. And then there is another attribute we should add before we proceed, the controls. After adding this, you can save and then proceed to the browser to see what you have. You can see that our video is actually loading. Our video is actually loading, so I can play it from here, and then as you can see, it has started playing. So I can fast forward it. It's actually a programming video, so it's a video we can use for whatsoever. You can actually upload any kind of video you want to, rather. So another thing we'll be looking at is the audio. Let me pause the video for now. Assuming I want to add audio to my website, how can I achieve that? So let's look at that. Let me add a BR tag here, so that the next one that is coming will be on a new line break. All right, it's almost the same thing, but there we'll be using audio. And then I'll close it. And of course I'll also add the SRC. Where is the audio? It is in a folder called files, and then I can pick any of these songs, and then also add the controls. The controls is very important. It's an important attribute as far as these two is concerned. So let's see what we have on our browser. I've saved my work, refresh. You see, I have it here. So the music can actually start playing. Let me silence that, I don't need much noise. But as you can see, the number is counting, showing that the video is playing, and you can adjust the volume if you want to, and the rest of those things. All right, let me pause that. Then the next thing I want to show us is the div. The div, we use it a lot in the CSS section. It just stands for division, so it's a way of grouping things together, and it will not really have any effect on what I want to do right now. This is how we do it. Div, it will not really show any effect, so maybe I can just have a paragraph tag. But when we enter the CSS section, you really see the usefulness of this div. And then I refresh my work, and then we see what we have. Div, you see, it's still the same paragraph tag, no big change for now. But when we get to CSS, you really see the importance of that. Then another tag I would like to show you is the span. The span you can, it's just like the div. It does not do much. You just use it to wrap around a particular text text that you want to use for a particular purpose, and you also get to see more of it in the CSS section of this video. But what I want us to consider is the differences between inline and block element. Span is an inline element while div is a block element. And one thing you should notice is that most of the block elements, when once you write them, they will always appear on a new line, on a separate line. Let's say for example I have h1, I say welcome like we did before, and then I have another, but this time around h2, welcome. Now let's see what is going to happen. As I refresh this, you find out that they will both be on a separate line. You see, welcome. But there's another thing I want us to see on the other aspect, an example of an element that is an inline. Let's use the anchor tab. Let's say for example I have an anchor tab for creating a link here, then href, oh sorry about that, href, then I can just leave it like that for now. Then I write link 1, and then let me enter a new line and still create another, let's say link 2, and then let me add the href so that we see what is happening. All right, so I save my work. Let's check the browser what we have. Okay, let me scroll down. So you find out that although I place them on a different line, they still appear on the same line. So this is an example of an inline element, while these two guys, h1 and h2, are both example of block elements. So inline element tends to appear on the same line, while the block element is actually the opposite of that. So that's just basically what I want you guys to do in this particular video. So all the tags we have treated so far, I want you to group them. That's your task for today. Separate them into inline and block elements, and then post it in the community. And also don't forget to upload both your video and audio, and then upload it there at the community, because there are some people there waiting to check your work. Thank you very much. Then I will see you later in the next video.